Hello viewers, I am Dr. Umesha B, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JSS Arts, Science and Commerce College, Gokak, which is affiliated to Rani Chennamma University. In previous video, we had studied the introduction of medicinal chemistry, pharmaceuticals, and we had studied the definition for chemotherapy, drug and drug reactions, and one more thing is action of drugs and classification of synthetic drugs, an ideal synthetic drugs. In today's video, we are going to learn the synthesis part. So synthesis of drugs. Firstly, we are going to practice the synthesis of antipyretics. So before going to discuss the preparation of antipyretics, uh, let us know about antipyretics. Antipyretics meaning they can reduce body temperature to control fever. So these drugs reduce fever by stimulating a gland called the hypothalamus, that is a region of the brain that regulates temperature and other body processes. With the hypothalamus in action, peripheral blood vessels enlarge, that is in the feet, legs, arms, lower abdomen, neck and head, and sweating increases. So this result in the body's loss of heat through the skin and cooling by evaporation. Most antipyretic medications have other purposes. The most common antipyretics used in the United States are ibuprofen and aspirin, which are NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, but which also have antipyretic properties. Ibuprofen and aspirin are used as analgesics, pain reliever. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that is NSAIDs, response to injury, irritation or infection is inflammation. Signs of inflammation include redness, swelling, pain and heat. So these anti-inflammatory drugs reduce the swelling and the pain of inflammation. In therapeutic doses, the drugs do not have any effect on normal body temperature, but they exert their action on heat regulating center in the hypothalamus. Therefore, antipyretics are remedial agents that lower the temperature of the body in pyrexia, that is in the situation when the body temperature raised above normal. These antipyretics agents also called as antipyretic analgesics because they have mild analgesic activity. The most commonly used antipyretic drugs are paracetamol or acetaminophen, phenacetin or acetophenetidine, and acetaldehyde. So in these antipyretics, let us discuss the synthesis of paracetamol. So before going to practice the preparation of paracetamol, let us know about paracetamol. So paracetamol is a para-aminophenol derivative. It possesses analgesic and antipyretic action but lack anti-inflammatory effect. So acetaminophen or paracetamol was introduced in 1893. So this paracetamol affects the central nervous system, that is CNS. Although the way it works is not completely known, it is believed to stop the body from making prostaglandin. This paracetamol relieves fever by acting on the hypothalamus. Paracetamol does not have an anti-inflammatory effect. It also does not affect the way blood platelets work to form clots. So this paracetamol is used to treat the fever, headache, muscle ache and general pain. Paracetamol is the preferred drug for treating fever and flu-like symptoms in children. It is an effective pain reliever for some type of arthritis. It is said by the American Arthritis Association. So these are all about paracetamol. So let us know the properties and uses of paracetamols. Paracetamols exist as wild crystalline powder. It is sparingly soluble in water and soluble in alcohol and very slightly soluble in methylene chloride. Paracetamol produces antipyresis by acting on the hypothalamic heat regulating center and analgesia by evaluating the pain threshold. Hepatic necrosis and death can be observed by taking overdose in adults who takes more than 100 gram in a single dose, or if an 2-year-old child takes more than 3 gram. And what is the dose of paracetamol we should take? So usually adult dose is 500 milligram to 1 gram for 3 to 4 times a day. So the tablet in the form of tablets, chewable tablets, delayed release tablets, orally dissolving tablets, drops, oral suspension, oral solution and capsules. These are all the dosage forms. So paracetamol is used for mild to moderate pain relief and it is used for several pains. It is used for the fever, headache, muscle ache. It is aniline based analgesic antipyretic. It is used either by mouth or rectally, but it is uh, available by injection into vein. So let us know the preparation of paracetamol. So How we are going to prepare the paracetamol drug? So it is prepared by the reduction of paranitrophenol and obtained para-aminophenol is acetylated by a mixture of acetic anhydride and glacial acetic acid. So it forms the paracetamol or acetaminophen or AP. So paracetamol is also known as acetaminophen and or AP. In the first step, what happened is paranitrophenol on reduction it gives the para-aminophenol. This para-aminophenol on acetylation with acetic anhydride and the glacial acetic acid, it produces paracetamol. Next, synthesis of antipyrine. It is also an antipyretic agent. It is also known as phenazone. Antipyrine was first synthesized by Ludwig Knorr in 1887. It also known as phenazone or analgesic. It is also known as analgesic. It is an analgesic and a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug and antipyretic. So this phenazone is soluble in water, moderately soluble in ether, and does not form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So antipyrine, it is also known as, what is the name of the IUPAC name of the antipyrine? 1-phenyl 2,3-dimethyl-5-pyrazolone. So this 1-phenyl 2,3-dimethyl-5-pyrazolone has analgesic activity, but 1-phenyl 3-methyl-5-pyrazolone is inactive. Why it is inactive? Why antipyrine is active? It is for the reason that the formation of hydrogen bonding in the 1-phenyl 3-methyl-5-pyrazolone, and it gives rise to a linear polymer which cannot pass through biomembranes. Therefore, antipyrine is active, and but 1-phenyl 3-methyl-5-pyrazolone is inactive because it forms the polymer, a linear polymer through hydrogen bonding. This linear polymer which cannot pass through biomembranes. So let us know the preparation part. So in 1911, in 1911, phenazone could be prepared by the condensation of phenyl hydrazine with acetoacetic ester. The resulting phenyl methyl pyrazolone on heating with methyl iodide and methyl alcohol to 100 to 110 degree Celsius, it produces phenazone. It produced uh, phenazone or a antipyrine. So in this slide, it is happened in 1911. So in this slide, antipyrine is prepared by condensation of phenyl hydrazine and ethyl acetate under basic condition 1-phenyl 3-methyl pyrazolone obtained as intermediate. So here, when the phenyl hydrazine is reacted with ethyl acetoacetate, it undergoes condensation. It undergoes condensation. Therefore, there is a loss of water molecule and produces the 1-phenyl 3 dimethyl pyrazolone. Sorry, 1-phenyl 3 methyl pyrazolone. There is a mistake in the slide. Please correct it. 1-phenyl 3 methyl pyrazolone. So this 1-phenyl 3 methyl pyrazolone on methylation of this intermediate compound 1-phenyl 3 methyl pyrazolone with methyl iodide or dimethyl sulfate. The target molecule, that is 1-phenyl 2,3 dimethyl 5-pyrazolone or antipyrine or phenazone, is formed. So on methylation of 1-phenyl 3 methyl pyrazolone with dimethyl sulfate or methyl iodide, methylation takes place. Methylation takes place and produces 1-phenyl 2,3 dimethyl pyrazolone or phenazone or antipyrine. In this way, we had prepared the antipyrine. So what are the uses of antipyrine? So it was used before 1911 as an antipyretics and analgesic to relieve pain. It possesses local anesthetics. It is used as a local anesthetics. It is also used as ear drops, which containing 5% solution of antipyrine. So it is also used as a styptic agent. Styptic agents. That means it is also used as a local hemostatics. Local hemostatics. So it prevents the blood clotting. And I have already told you that it is also used as ear drop. It is often used in testing the effects of other drugs or diseases on drug metabolizing enzymes in the liver. So what is the dosage of this drug is 300 to 600 milligram. So the dose was 5 to 20 grams, but on account of its depressant action on the heart, this is all about the antipyrines. So in today's video, we have discussed about synthesis of paracetamol and antipyrine, and a little bit introduction about a brief introduction about these drugs. Later we will discuss remaining drugs in the next session. Thank you all.